a lot of postnatal stuff is an extractive thing.
Yeah.
People are coming to extract from you.
Yeah.
Even something as simple as that you, the birthing mother, would be expected to make somebody a cup of tea is insane.
I know.
It is insane. And we
It's
need
a
to
wild
bring
world.
back a conversation. Again, we need to have these conversations the same way we need to go, no, my birth was amazing.
Yes.
Like, let's establish
yes.
the other side to that coin. Let's let people know.
Hello, Quanta folks, and welcome to another episode of Faark The Shoulds podcast. I am QuantiMama Jodi, and I am so delighted to welcome back one of my super favourite people. This is Riona Seehusen. Did I get the inflection right? Yeah. From Bellagreen Organics. And so Riona, as we know, services our beautiful Bellarine Peninsula community with her amazing veggies that are grown organically. So both of those, BD and organic on the Bellarine Peninsula. But more than that, she is a fierce mama of 5. We had a great conversation, I think in, season 3. It was a while ago anyway. And we're like, geez, we're going to have another one because you are a fabulous should-farker. And I have quoted you so many times with your...
Pronia?
Yeah, you say pronia. I decided pronoia. Well, because I went paranoia. Pronoia. Yeah, anyway, in true Jodi fashion, I gave it my own version. That's it. So, and I've actually coined the phrase pronoic, which possibly is not a real word, but
it could be.
I'm owning it like a mofo. Yes. Yeah. So welcome, Riona, to another conversation. We love having you here. Okay, so we were riffing about what we're going to talk about because you as a mama of 5 and you homeschool as well by choice, not because you wear tinfoil hat like me. So you actually like your children. That's usually the distinction I say for these people that choose to homeschool, whereas I just think of it as the
only option.
Well, the lesser of evils, shall we call it. Although I actually was just in the butcher's and this lady was like, to my son, you finished school already or no school today? And I said, actually, homeschool. And
how did she react?
Yeah, she went, that's really cool. So she's actually I don't think she had kids, but she had that thing of just kind of going, I'm actually hearing a lot more people interested in that. And what I said to her, so I do joke about being a reluctant homeschooler, but one thing that I did say to her that I genuinely do believe is I said to her with my son right there, I said, when you choose to have your children home like I have and homeschool them, you will enrich your relationship with them in ways that you couldn't even have predicted.
100%. Well, your relationship will essentially maintain, like it will stay intact.
I actually think it's improved.
Yeah.
But maybe because my kids were at school.
Yeah.
And so I had that comparison, whereas you've always had your kids at home, haven't you?
Yeah.
So it's a very different scenario. But anyway, that's just the preamble. We are talking about, you had a nice phrase for it, but basically about being unapologetic mothers.
Yes. Yeah.
What does that mean to you?
Well, I feel like, we have a lot of mums that come through the farm to come and volunteer, like women who just kind of need a community beyond sitting in a library singing nursery rhymes and ignoring the actual women in the room.
Oh, yes. I mean, like we could just stop and just dwell on that point. I never really thought about that. I don't know. Should we? I've got a podcast name for that. She's going into sweets, everyone.
I just feel like we always were presented with this choice of, as a woman, you either choose work or you choose children, or you do both really shitty, or you get criticized. You just get criticized anyway, either way, all the ways. But I do feel like we're really limited in our options of, like, we really haven't kind of figured out some kind of way to pursue the vocational without having to give up on your mothering. to maintain that connection.
Yes.
That your path and your, you know, service to doesn't and shouldn't mean sort of pushing your mothering role
turning off the burner is how I've heard the phrase before, and I love that because it really does help us think about how can we be global in the way we want to live our life and create a true ecosystem rather than this, you know, all in one pot thing. So for you, obviously, and I think we've touched a little bit on that when we talked about it last time, and I think we focused more on that community aspect of how you're building community at Bellagreen Organics. And it's such a beautiful and simple way to do it, right? But profound for the people that choose to partake in it. How then are you integrating that unapologetic mothering or even modelling that to the women? Because I'm assuming that part of the impetus for this kind of conversation is coming from the fact that you're not seeing women naturally equipped to be unapologetic with their mothering.
So if a really good example of that is, and I experienced this a million times, and you would have experienced it yourself as a mum and seen it in a lot of different women, where you have like a very classic scenario that we had the other day at the farm where a mum came, she has 2 little kids, one is very small, the other one is a toddler, and it was me, like, in my family there. I don't know whether there was other mums there that day, but she came and she has been coming for a while. It's lovely. We kind of saw her through that pregnancy of the younger one, and then both the kids started crying at the same time. And her first reaction was to be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm really sorry. Okay, I'm just going to have to go now because they've both cracked it. And we just said, absolutely not. This is what kids do. Give me one of the babies. You calm one. I'll carry your baby around. It'll calm down.
And if ever there was a time to not exile yourself, it's when you are outnumbered by crying children.
Absolutely. But how many times have we witnessed that as women, and you see it once you've gone through it, you go, oh, wow, that's somebody in the thick of it. Like a woman in the supermarket who has like a newborn, the baby cracks it. You can almost see her leaking milk. She's like in a fucking panic, running through the aisles, just abandoning her trolley, rushing out of the supermarket to sit in the car and feed her kid.
And possibly have a cry with the child.
Yes.
Because of the shame of the poorly behaved child. Right. Because apparently crying is poor behaviour.
It's all of these.
I mean, there's so many fucked up things within that, aren't there?
Yes.
So I feel like we might have talked about this last time, and I'm pretty sure I admitted to you the fact that I've never helped the woman in the supermarket, and I still have not. It's like a bucket list item I haven't checked off. But I'm really conscious about how in our society, see, what happens is the women who are like in that space of having the crying children and feeling, so self-conscious around that, they shoot the messenger sometimes as well. Like they're not practiced at receiving.
Yes.
And I know that you're someone that does go and help in that space. Is that right? Have you?
Yes.
You have, because I'm sure you said that to me last time. I was like, oh, you're such a better human being.
But it's really not that. Like I don't mind I don't really mind being shot down.
How do you approach it though? Do you just ask? Do you need a hand?
I don't ask. No, I just go here. I'll just start loading up people's trolleys or whatever. Like, or it doesn't even, like, it can be a practical thing. Obviously, that's the most helpful in those situations. But I think honestly, just kind of like, you know how one talks about like children are not able to regulate their nervous system. They need co-regulation. So I feel like we don't really talk about how it's very hard for mothers, young mothers or mothers with young children. Like your nervous system is really fucked a lot of the time because
it's fried.
Yeah, you're just getting it kind of from all angles. And so even standing next to a mother in that situation and consciously just like sort of doing an exhale and just giving her the space to be like I'm sure everyone is sick of me, like in any supermarket that I go to with my comments about like, oh, you'll look back on this and laugh. Like I saw a lady the other day and at Aldi down in Ocean Grove, and I think she had like 3 or 4 little kids, and they were at the age, and they were little.
Oh, right.
And you know, they're at the age where like they can't reach over the trolley, but they're just throwing random shit in the trolley.
Oh my God.
And she's like trying to get it back out, and I almost had a bit of PTSD. But I was like, oh, you know what?
That's right, because you've done that because your children are close in age. Right. You were that woman.
100% I've been that. That's where all the empathy comes from.
Yes.
It's just knowing like you go through that isolation and the pressure.
Yes.
And you're like, oh, wow, like, why do we do that? Why do we do that to ourselves?
Yes.
Why do we allow that?
Because that's how you get the imaginary medal. It's the same as surviving birth. And we will probably have a conversation about birth at some point too, because it's a bugbear of mine. Women bond over war stories.
Yes.
So that anyone that has a great experience just keeps quiet because somehow their good experience offends everyone else.
There's the offense part, because I've had this discussion with a lot of friends too, but I think that also because I've had really beautiful births.
Yeah, me too.
And they've been really like sacred experiences for me. And so there's always an element of privacy for me in that experience that I like shared with my partner that, you know, bound us together. There's an element of privacy and not wanting to necessarily just talk to anyone about an experience that I genuinely considered very sacred. But then there's also the idea, like in talk therapy, that if you have unprocessed trauma, that your natural trying to heal it is going to be to talk about it.
Yes.
If you do not have trauma around that, you do not need to talk about it. You like I talk about my births to women who are afraid of that process, who are going into that. And I said, no, like that's not my experience at all. And just to hold up that mirror and go, look, I know you hear all this kind of stuff, but like there's plenty.
Let me give you another example.
100%. Like this is the other side of that coin.
Yes.
And you have a lot of power. In yourself, in your body, in your processes during pregnancy, which way you go. Like we have a lot of responsibility for how we birth, like not in a pushing down way, but in a no, like you can do a lot for yourself.
Oh, I think the invitation is immense, and it's almost too immense that women that glimpse at it are overwhelmed by the potential of it. I think it scares the shit out of them because, to be honest, it feels a lot nicer to stay small and stay in your lane and stay under the radar. And I get that, right? But at some point you'll get bored with being beige. Won't you?
Well, you're not really, you know, you're kind of cheating yourself out of being in your full
the quiet
power.
Moments you hear that inner voice that says, hey, let's do something interesting. Let's do something uncommon.
Or something that feeds your soul a little bit, I think. Otherwise, you know, you do just end up, I don't know, in a beige place. I like that saying because it's not so judgy. It's not a black place. It's not a dark.
Exactly. Well, dark is kind of interesting, actually.
Oh, right.
Yeah. We're talking extremes.
Yes. So, and all of those things are kind of tied into this continuum of taking up space as a mother, taking responsibility, but also like setting boundaries around what you are willing to kind of take on from the outside. Because I just see, and it's really heartbreaking to see like women who like just are genuinely beautiful, like heart mothers who are concerned about what other people think of them. And the other people, the other people we're always so worried about. Like, who are these fucking other people? Why do we give a shit about them?
They actually don't care, to be honest, because they're too concerned about themselves.
Yes, they barely notice. It's like the comments that we just talked about before on the social media, like people are just out there trolling to release some shit that
Correct.
they've built up during that. They don't care about you, your situation, even what you've posted.
No.
They're just there to leave some shitty comment and kind of feel like they've offloaded something.
But I actually think I can come from an even more generous place of recognizing the fact that all of it is just energy, and their intention is not necessarily to be shitty and hurt someone, because I think if they were standing in front of that person, they said that, they wouldn't say it,
they
right?
would never, ever.
They would not,
never.
and certainly not when they're looking at how distraught people are when they receive this stuff. But in that moment, they are looking for relief for the energy that wants to ground itself. You know, it's a pathway it's a lightning strike that is looking for a way to find, you know, its counterbalance and to neutralize itself. So, and where it's meant to go, energy is meant to move. So when we talk then about unapologetic,
Freudian slip.
Hello, Freud. Hello, Freud.
Yeah.
When we talk about unapologetic, well, let's talk about apologetic mothering, because in fact, I don't think I was there fully, but I definitely was a bit more people pleasing and happy to stay under the radar. And I would do things like, oh, sorry about little Johnny. And then after not very long, I was like, why the fuck am I apologizing for my kid?
Right.
Like, why?
Right.
Why do we apologize for our children? I don't apologize for my children.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Like, even if there's been a misdemeanor and I'm like, wow, my child has some things to learn and we'll discuss that, but I never apologize for them. And I also don't take compliments that are for them.
Yeah.
So when people say, oh, you know, Quanta Kid is incredible, he does this, he does that, you've done a really good job. And I went, no, he raised himself despite me. Like, I mean, it's a little bit of humour to deflect, but I actually don't want that, because my ego doesn't need confirmation that I raised good people. I always wanted to, and it should be a basic tenet of parenting, to be honest, is don't raise assholes. Can we set the bar that low?
It may be lower in real life, Jodi.
Well, I mean, okay, so if you think about your basic tenet of parenting, what is that for you?
Yeah, definitely. I think my basic tenet would be raising people who I feel like would generally contribute to the world for the better. Yeah. Yeah. But I have apologized for my kids in terms of I've apologized for my kids when they've, you know, I don't know, snatched something from another kid in the playground or something, and that other kid has been upset, but they haven't been, if they're sorry, obviously you can see it in their face, but they're not able to communicate that, and then I've communicated that for them. And like, I think that my kids would agree that a lot of my parenting is very strict. Like, sort of manners and respect are really important to me in how I raise people. I just think that kind of social responsibility is something we really lack, and that's why we have people that leave stupid comments or that feel like you need to, you know, trash talk to you while your baby's screaming at the supermarket or whatever. Like, if they had have just had really basic manners taught to them by their mother and ideally modeled as well, then I think the world would be much better if we would just had a really very normal, acceptable level of respect.
So it's a moral etiquette framework.
Having like a strong moral fiber and compass is central to me as a human and how I raise people.
I think that's beautiful. I think probably we raise kids very similarly. What's been interesting to me is because that has been a strong framework, you know, particularly for McGill and I, and maybe because McGill, you know, was police officer, he had that kind of thing going on. We have had kids at each sort of juncture of their growth turn into what we call constables. So they would end up being constables within our household and policing what was going on and really like strong kind of righteousness. And so that's been interesting in itself as well, because you have these kids that are morally aware and socially aware, and then next thing it's coming back to bite you in the ass when you're trying to turn a blind eye because you can't be bothered having another argument with a persistent child. So it's interesting how those things, but they seem to peter out at some point and the kids kind of find their flow.
Yeah, I think it just, you figure out how to navigate that and apply it to a real world context. But I think that transition, and I think most children will naturally go through that. I really do think that we naturally develop a sense of what is right and what's not right, and no, that's mean, and then I think that is kind of then like beaten out of us, metaphorically, and we kind of lose that direction. Yeah. But it's also interesting, like the way that you're kind of like, the way that your moral compass, then looping it back to the unapologetic mothering.
Yeah.
I think, especially if you're a first-time mum and you have this huge surge in like a protective instinct.
Yes.
And the like understanding that this human is completely dependent on you for everything. For then to be kind of moving around in a world that says, well, this child is not welcome here. This child is too loud. This child is too this. This is a child-free space. This is your, baby can't scream on a plane, or like that's so challenging. But then I also feel like that initial mothering in particular is often such an isolating experience that you don't have the older women around you to go, absolutely not. We do not negotiate with bullshit. That's your priority.
Yeah.
You protect that.
Yeah.
And one of my all-time favorite things I've seen lately on social media has been like when people say, oh, you should like lean more into your like feminine mothering, and then it shows like a clip of all the animal mothers in the wild.
Yeah. Who I'm assuming are not in their divine feminine.
They are 100% in their fucking divine feminine. Yeah. Have you ever seen a lioness if someone fucks with her kids?
Yeah, well, that's true, actually. But I always think that's really quite masculine. I always think of that divine feminine to be very, you're saying, okay, so that's where the lioness actually comes out. Maybe the
divine feminine, but I think that there's the divine feminine, like sure, maybe we could talk about like the virgin or the maiden divine feminine, the mother divine feminine.
Yeah.
Like women will murder humans to protect their children.
Yeah, well, they'll
women
pick up cars and things like that.
Yes. To protect their children.
Yes.
Like women can do anything to protect their children.
So we get a glimpse into how unlimited we really are.
Yes. And the power that naturally comes with that is really big. And I think there's a million reasons why we are cut off from that very early. Yes. Very early, through shaming, through isolation, through lack of continuum of the mothering era. Like I think last time we talked about how sad I felt it was that women are often kind of put into peer groups and you have no perspective. You have no perspective.
Yes.
You have I had a couple of grannies that would tell me like, oh, it goes so fast, darling. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. That was my like intergenerational counsel.
Oh, and I've kind of, when I heard that, went, it can't go fast enough right now. Like I was in the mud.
Yeah.
And it felt hard and tiring and unrelenting. Yeah. Because it's a 24/7 job.
Yeah.
And now it's like a breeze. Yeah. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
But the only reason I think it's a breeze now is firstly,
you really went through it?
Well, I went through it, but I actually don't want that for everybody. So I'm sure there must be some people that are at VIPs that skip the queue of the shit, right?
No.
You reckon?
No.
No, I want to believe there's some people that incarnate into this life and go, I'm just here for the cruise ship.
No.
Okay, we're all here for
if you are here for the cruise ship, then you'll be here for the cruise ship. Then you just sail off somewhere, who the fuck knows.
Yeah.
There is no way around.
Yeah, right. Like, we're all going through it.
You have to go through it.
So Bear Hunt was right.
Yes.
We're not going over it. We're not going under it.
It's literally the thing I say to my kids all the time. I was like, what do you think they mean in this, kids? Let's have a philosophical discussion. What does this mean to life?
That's right.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
Well, it gets to be their version, right? We don't don't accent it, and we don't rob people of their experience. I mean, I'm very big on not rescuing people out of their experience, but instead being a presence. And and it's funny you say that about, you know, the thing about the woman, say, in the supermarket, which is just such a it's such an articulate way to describe that part of the mothering journey, because it is so public and so isolating in that moment when the fit is hitting the shan. My technique right now, my or what do we call it, like a non-violent communication technique, is literally just to picture them in their infinity toroidal field of, you know,
what's an infinity toroidal field?
So basically the infinity, so where our energy fields are all toroidal, right? So they move in a, you'll look it up, toroid. And because of that, I believe that's hooking into the universal soup or the God force or whatever you want to use it, right? You name your universal energy field, correct. And so when that happens, it brings into alignment the skin sac body and the soul or spirit essence into that universal field and creates coherence. And so then everything.
So those are your like aha moments.
That's when I try and gift
channel that.
I try and gift. I use mine to gift that coherence to that mother or that more so that child, because that child is actually the one that's in need, communicating. The mother is
but everything runs through the mother.
Yeah, but the mother is. What I'm saying is the mother is unpracticed at holding space, right? Which is what that is. But the child is the one screaming. So the child has the unmet need they're trying to communicate. Yeah. And so what happens is we concentrate then on supporting the mother, which is really important. Yeah. And then when she has capacity, she can look into what that unmet need for the child is. Yeah. So it's kind of one of those things, a bit like the kid that's hurt themselves on the, you know, basketball court or whatever. So I always picture them in that coherent state so they can get their bits and pieces in order. Yeah. Look, I don't know how effective it is, but it feels nicer than doing nothing at all. So, and certainly, I mean, the idea that you would judge someone in that situation is just heinous. Well, it would probably be a trauma that hadn't been healed in yourself, you know. Maybe that's where that judgment comes from.
I honestly think that's just how our society is trained. And and it is very particular to Western society. If you go anywhere else in the world and you travel with children, you'll have a very, very different experience of how cultures hold children, the importance they give children, the attention that children get from the collective, like that. And I think that is a very important distinction, because one of the conversations I've been having with the mums has been about postnatal depression. Yeah. And like if I talk to my mother-in-law in Kenya and try and describe postnatal depression, she doesn't know what I mean. Right. Because she's like, but you've just had a baby. Like, what a blessing. Like, you have all your people helping you around you, looking after you. Like, why would you be sad? Like, obviously there's the understanding of, you know, the hormones and the milk and all that kind of stuff. But like abject depression, like postnatal depression is like abject depression, like fortified by your fucking hormones. Like,
well, I mean, if you're in an environment that supports you, where you can do hormonal regulation and you can
and you just have basic support.
That's like, right.
You're not gonna.
It's not rocket science at all.
It's not rocket science, and like to kind of put someone who was going through the most liminal phase of her life in isolation with a baby that's very demanding, with sleep deprivation, with no community connection. And often the community connection that we do have here around a lot of postnatal stuff is an extractive thing. Yeah. People are coming to extract from you. Yeah. Even something as simple as that you, the birthing mother, would be expected to make somebody a cup of tea is insane. It is insane. And we need to bring back a conversation. Again, we need to have these conversations the same way we need to go, no, my birth was amazing. Yes. Like, let's establish the other side to that coin. Let's let people know collectively to each other. Let's let's kind of have a new normal.
Yeah, I would like
because
that.
it's a lot of so much of that early mothering, so much of the apologetic mothering comes from you have no standard.
Yes.
Your standard is, who knows, but it's not there.
Yes.
You do not have that solid ground at all. And you just get lost in the sort of pressures from the outside.
And it's formidable. The whole situation is formidable. And I'm curious then, because there are many entry points on how to shunt this shit show off its course.
Yeah, we've had this discussion a long time ago. Where do you start?
Where do you start? Because I always think I start there, but then really you need to start there. And in fact, you need to actually start back there.
Yeah.
So it becomes really difficult, and that's not a reason to not do anything, but I feel sometimes just the heartache of how manipulated we are and how much we have drowned out that inner voice that would be saying, this is not right.
Yes.
And I think we can argue till the cows come home that social media is just so damaging.
It's been there so much longer though.
Well,
that's such a societal thing.
It's a new thing. That's a new thing.
Yeah.
But people have been keeping up with the Joneses for a very long time. And I know that, having said that, you're probably a wonderful example of someone who has gone, look, it ain't perfect, but I'm hopping in at this point. I've created this community space. You bring your kids. If they're crying, all the better. Let's get them into nature. And, let's give you something and conversation that will just plant seeds, And so it's about then, I think, what I want to say is that we might not get to the inception, but at least we get an access point, and that's what you're doing with that space, which is so beautiful. So what have been some of the things, I know everyone's different, but what have been some of the common things that have come up that you've observed in the language of these women, and what have been the breakthrough sort of penny dropping moments that have made that access? Because sometimes it can be helpful to give people ideas about, okay, what worked? What were the patterns that you're seeing?
Honestly, one of the most important things, like as an aha moment for so many women and like young mothers, is literally what this podcast is named.
Yeah.
And it's just, they go, oh, but I should, blah, blah. And I'm like, says who?
Yeah.
Says who? And they're like, oh, well, I'm like, well, is that person, say you, and a lot of people don't, but say that it is a face of one person, or like your 3 aunties, or your 2 cousins, or whatever. I'm like, are those people going to come to your house and raise your children with you on the day-to-day? Yes or no? No. So who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck? It's
and
you.
Does that help them?
Yes.
You see that change?
Yes. It's like, yes, 100%. I think in any situation, letting go of that imaginary judge that you have, and in early motherhood, it's not really imaginary. There are a lot of people there judging you.
Yeah.
Is genuinely helpful, because it's just about like a rerouting in yourself. It's that responsibility, coming back to responsibility. Responsibility is always responsibility and power. It's always the same thing. You can't separate the two. Power on its own is useless to you. It doesn't give you anything because it's not for anything.
Yeah.
Responsibility on its own is just too heavy. You forget the power. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Bring those two together, and have you have that. You have that. That's your instinct. That's what gets taken away. You can just get it back.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually just
taken away just in your mind.
Well, it's just one decision, right? Yeah. One decision that puts you on a different pathway.
Yeah. And a lot of that is like, do I have to? No, you do not. No, you don't.
Or you could just pause. Like we were literally talking the other day about, if you don't know, don't go. And the beauty of inaction in that moment, because I think we're so entrained in our society to take action.
Yeah, and to rush into things.
Yeah, I mean, even the idea on social media of a status update, this constant
What's that?
Oh, a status update is, like what are you up? They used to, I mean, probably I've been on social media longer than you, but, it used to be that you would give a post update of where you were at. And it used to be this sort of language, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like, this updating people on what you had for breakfast entrained us into just being way too accountable and taking action on stuff. And so the adrenal sort of priming is just so consistent and constant, and so people just, that becomes the new normal. It's so standard for them. And so the idea of pausing, that just changes things big time. Thank you for the information, I'll take that away and I'll give it consideration.
I mean, it's kind of that age-old concept of like thinking before you speak. You don't have to you can just...
I learned that one later in life.
I don't think I've learned it yet.
I actually think you might be a master. I feel like you're a master at that. It's a beautiful thing, I think, to witness it, and sometimes it is. I really like foundational stuff, and so I think that's why I love farking the shoulds and being a should-farker, because it's so accessible. In that moment, what is the truth of that current predicament or decision or situation? And that has helped, I think, circling back to this conversation with this chick and the butchers, as you make those we'll call them uncommon decisions, because they're not in the entrainment of that reactivity and got to be seen to be doing the right thing and blah blah blah. As you do that, the amount of times that you have unexpected delight in your life just starts stepping up. And it's this snowball thing. You're like, holy shit, that was really good too. I mean, I've had so many moments where I go, oh my God, I would never have this relationship with my kids. I would never have this relationship with McGill if I hadn't have taken those small measures of change. And how beautiful to do life like this. Pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. And I think that the kind of like the clincher to that is that that space allows you to feel what is actually right for you. Not your, second cousin, neighbor, whatever. Like, especially in everything in life, but just that it's like that meditation, just a centering. You kind of come back to yourself just with that pause, with the, do I have to? No, you don't. Okay. So, okay. What feels good for me? Like and honestly, the saddest thing is, like, when you say to women, they come, oh, what should I do about this or that? And I go, well, what feels nice for you? They're like, well, holding my baby all the time. I'm like,
okay, great idea. It's really awkward when they're 18. Hard to put them in a carrier.
I've tried. I remember.
Mom, put me down.
I'm pretty sure that when my youngest was, I don't know how old she was. She would have been like 6 years old or something. And I think she was kind of going, when kids kind of move through different phases and they know they're moving into a different phase, and it's a little tricky for them. And so she was like, oh, I don't know whether I'm ready to let this go. And she was the youngest, and she was on the boob for like 4 years, or, she was very much. And so she went through a phase of like wanting to be in the sling. And I did put her in the sling, and I probably walked around the kitchen table. I'm like, oh, fuck this. It's too heavy. You gotta go, my friend. But yes, maybe not 18, but maybe 6.
Well, it's funny because McGill was mentioning the other day that our eldest, who's 18 now, still comes in and will lie down the bed and say goodnight. And, it doesn't happen as often as we like, but just even those moments of going, because I don't want him to do it because he's just in trained to do it. Like, I want him to do it because he genuinely goes, oh, I'd really like to go and say goodnight to mum and dad. And he still finishes his, phone calls with, I love you. And I'm like, that's so nice. I just really appreciate that. And I just think what would life, life would probably be fine, but I don't know, would it be as rich? I feel like if the bus took me out tomorrow, I would die happy with this life.
Because you feel like you're connected.
Well, each day we try and find what feels nice. And, I don't always get it right. And so now my method to approach that stuff is, oh, well, that was nice contrast. Let's go find something nice now,
Yeah.
And sometimes that includes me. So, and I literally said to the kids today, I tried to spend too much time with them, but today was 6 hours, and that really pushed my friendship with them. But I literally said to them, because they were bickering, and I know that that's important life skills and blah, 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 and whatever bloody excuse you've got for me. I was like fucking not interested. And I actually just said to them, you guys are not the kind of people I actually want to live with right now. Like, I literally don't want to live with people that
constantly nagging.
Nag, and she didn't do this and he didn't do that, and I don't want to do this, and how come I never blah, 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 blah. Oh, my God. Yeah. So, and I'm okay with that. Like, I know for other people, they will find that confronting to go, oh, it's not really attachment parenting. And I'm like, well, actually,
I don't want to be attached.
Yeah. I'm going to swap them for better models.
Yeah.
I think it's healthy, right? And I want my kids to see that I'm human and I have my levels and where I'm at. And I don't want to always have to be able to hold space for them because that's not me showing up
as a woman, as a full human,
but authentic and honest. I want to be honest with them.
Yeah,
I think that helps them have their days as well.
Yeah, and
hello, Quanta folks. Well, we're going to take a pause here with this conversation with Riona Seehusen from Bellagreen Organics. It is a fabulous conversation, but boy, can she and I talk. So grab the next episode and continue hearing this fantastic conversation. We'll see you soon.
Hey Quanta folks, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Birth is transformational. And it can be transformational in the right way and in the not so right way. So how do we arm ourselves to be really prepared for this incredible experience? Well, you wouldn't go out and run a marathon without any kind of training. You'd at least do occasional stretches, and the High Vibe Birth course, which is self-paced, available at the QuantiMama.com website, is available for you. You get to luxuriate in all of the ideas and transformational techniques and the beautiful information that can only have a positive effect on your birth. So get fit for your birth marathon and head to QuantiMama for the High Vibe Birth course. Beautiful Quanta folks. You know, at QuantiMama, we have a mandate that we feel so passionate about. We want and we are raising the community's vibration and frequency and consciousness through parenting and birth experiences. Such incredible, transformational experiences that will shape you as a person and are the very fabric of life. You want to find out how to high vibe your experience even more? Then QuantiMama is your place. Head there for the High Vibe Birth course, ultimate preparation for birthing. Head there if you want to re-engage your child in the love of learning for the Take the Leap course, which is a deschooling course for parents. There's beautiful mind movies, and obviously this podcast is there, and we are here to support you. So head there for all the juice.